Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 10. First, let me apologize for a couple of things. First, for not getting this out yesterday. The storm definitely affected the Wi-Fi here at my house, and so it has been kind of hit or miss. There was no way for me to record anything yesterday. And it's still a little bit wonky this morning, so you'll notice that I have my camera off. But nevertheless, here is week 10, our overview and objectives. We are making strides towards essay number 3, kind of building off of that information that you gathered last week. This week, we're kind of exploring the bigger question of what is the value of college through a couple of different readings, some videos, and some discussion board posts. You also have received essay number 2 back, which I will talk about in just a minute. All right. So in your Canvas gradebook, you might see a little blue number next to your grades. That should be your essay number 2 feedback. If you click on that, find essay number 2, you'll see some comments there in the Canvas comments box that tells you what your score feedback is, whether that was a high pass, pass, not yet passing, or incomplete. The other part of the feedback is actually on your Google Docs itself in the form of comments. Now, you get to choose whether or not you're going to revise essay number 2. It is absolutely your decision, but please keep in mind that if you received an incomplete on essay number 2, you must revise that essay to make it complete in order to have a chance at passing English 100. Complete or not complete just basically means that you either did or didn't meet the essay requirements. So let's say, for example, we had 3 sources, you only had 1, that essay would not be considered complete. Whether it's passing or not, I don't know yet, but unless it meets the requirements, I don't even really give it any kind of feedback. So if you are thinking about revising, you need to read through this page and kind of decide, am I going to revise? Am I not going to revise? And then read through the requirements of what you need to do if you do choose to revise, okay? If you choose to revise, that revision is due in 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to complete the revision, Monday, November 8th. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to essay number 3. Again, it is posted here in your module just as a reminder of what we're working towards. The focus for this week is going to be on this bigger question of what the value is of going to college. Not so much like why would we want to go to college in terms of our education, but what's the value of going to college? We're going to be exploring that in a variety of different ways, from a couple of videos to a very, very recent study that was just released. The first are a series of videos that come out of Georgetown University's Center on Education and the Workforce. They had a project that they called the Good Jobs Project, which was actually really interesting in terms of all of the data that they collected. This first video is actually about all the jobs that are available to you if you don't have a BA, or if you do have a BA. And a BA is a bachelor's degree, right? That 4-year degree from a transfer institution. So you're going to start this unit by watching these 2 videos. They're short, 2 or 3 minutes, but they provide what I think is a really good kind of foundation of information. And then I want you to kind of ask yourself, what do these videos tell you about the worth of college or about the value of college? And what might that mean for you in your decision here at LMC? Then you're going to move into this article published by an online, they're kind of like an online magazine called The Conversation. I really like this particular article because the overall question is, what's a university education worth? Now, the Georgetown videos talk about wealth and money, but this conversation talks about more intangible things that a university education is worth. So in order to complete the discussion board for this week, you need to read this article. Again, it says 5 pages up here, but you can see that even on this first page, it's full of images. So you're going to read this article about what these 3 folks think a university education is worth. And then you'll participate in the discussion board. And I can see that some of you already have done that. And your discussion board prompt is going to ask you to follow the same format as the article, right? What do you think college education is worth? You'll notice that you don't have any peer replies required for this post. You can, of course, respond to each other if you choose, but they're not required. The second round of readings is actually going to be focused around another publication from Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce called The College Payoff. I recently learned, actually, this was updated just a couple of weeks ago. So you are looking at some seriously fresh data here about college and the workforce. Now, I have embedded the page here, but if you would rather go and access it online, put it on a big screen, you're welcome to do that. I provided the link for you. But what I want you to do is kind of just explore the data. You can kind of look at education level, at your major, at your occupation, and what this is going to do is it's going to give you information about what you can expect to earn over your lifetime, right? So they're talking here 1.7 M, that's $1.7 million over your lifetime. For example, if you have in this occupation less than a high school degree or a high school diploma, some college, right? Or a bachelor's degree, look at that, 4.1 million over your lifetime. So this particular data set I think is interesting because it kind of sheds some light on what the bigger picture of your career might be. And I don't know that we necessarily think about that very often, right? We think about, oh, I need to go to college to get this and do this and do this, but we don't look at what that might mean across the span of our working life, right? And so this data, I think, kind of asks you to do that. So you're going to explore the data there. And again, thinking about what does this help, how might this help you see your career maybe in a different light, or how might it help you get motivated or stay motivated to be in school if that's what's required. And then you're going to go back and do another discussion board. Now for this one, what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to go back to the first discussion board of this week and skim through people's responses about what they thought a university education was worth, right? And then you're going to couple that with what you learned from that college payoff. And what you're going to do is write a response where you bring those two together, kind of like what we did with essay number 2 in the synthesis there, right? You're going to be doing something similar to that. And I give you kind of an example here of what I'm looking for. Again, peer replies are not required. They are totally optional, but I would encourage you to kind of peruse what your peers are thinking about. Now, last but not least, for the content of this week, I gave you some bonus videos. The Gates Foundation, you know, of Bill and Melinda Gates, they created this post-secondary value commission where they basically were trying to figure out whether or not there was a value for people to go to college. And so you have these quick little videos. They're 30 seconds to a minute long with the chancellor of community colleges talking about why higher education is important. You have a series of student voices. So all of these individual folks here, beginning with Luis and Michelle, these are all many of them first generation students, but students who have kind of gone through the workforce or are in the workforce, and talking about why college was important for them. Now, I think some of these actually are just really inspirational. But those are just bonus videos. You don't necessarily have to do anything with those except just watch them. And again, that's optional also. Writing territory number 10, course due by Friday. Please make sure that you're proofreading these. And then a couple of things pertaining to essay number 2. You have not yet done a grammar log for my class. I don't do them with essay number 1. Those are narratives. It's the first essay of the semester. But with essays number 2 and 3, you will be completing a grammar log. So what you need to do is kind of read through these instructions. You'll be accessing the grammar log resource module, which you may not have even known existed. It's right under here on the left-hand side. And this is a way for you to kind of learn how to fix whatever grammatical issues that you tend to make. Let's say that you have a lot of comma splices, then you will be learning how to fix those comma splices. Let's say that you struggle with capitalization, then you'll be learning about that. So you're going to follow the steps here and then submitting this by Friday. After that, you have a little, it's not really a quiz. It's extra credit, essentially. You'll notice on your Google Doc for essay number 2, somewhere on that essay is a hidden Miller. And it's a little fun fact about myself. And it's just kind of an incentive for you to make sure that you're looking at the feedback on the essay. And so this is extra credit. So I'm asking you to share something hidden about yourself, but then also asking you a little bit about whether or not you're planning on revising essay number 2. So this is just kind of a fun little way to get some extra credit, share a little fun fact about yourself. It's a quiz, but again, it is worth 2 points of extra credit. And then that's it. That takes us into the end of our second week of this unit. Now, next week, we are working on the roadmap for essay number 3 and the rough draft. So if you are thinking about revising essay number 2, this is a good week to do it because you don't really have any writing going on this week. Next week, you will have the rough draft. So if you like writing a lot all in one week, then you can save the revision for next week. But if you like to spread it out a little bit, I would encourage you to work on the revision this week, meet with me this week for it. And yeah, so, all right, I do have office hours today, which is Tuesday from 12 to 2 on Zoom. I have office hours again student hours again on Thursday from 9:30 to 11 on Zoom, and then via Pronto anytime, but specifically Wednesday nights. If there's anything else that you need, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. I hope you have a great week. Take care.